Know if this audio is working good, if you can hear everything. This is Jenny.
Hi.
Hello. And so we're going to have a discussion about many things today. This is a special guest. And so
Not that special.
she can give some of her gardening experience and her advice to you guys. So hello, Nancy. Hello, the Mom General. Good to see you guys. Nancy says, blessings to you all from Chattanooga.
Oh,
Can I use
love it down
Jadam fungicide? Yeah, we love
Yeah.
Tennessee in that area. We're going to be going back to see our friends before long.
Yep.
Can I use Jadam fungicide on my indoor seed starts? I do have the yellow sticky traps. I've used BT, I've used peroxide, fans blowing, environment clean. You can, but you really shouldn't have to. If you guys are starting up seeds and you already have molds and fungus and stuff like that and issues, then your environment is not right. So I strongly suggest to get the environment right. And that's going to be the most important thing, because the fungicides and stuff, that's only if something has gone wrong. If the environment's not right, then you have to use this stuff as an emergency measure. So yes, you can if you need to, but I would suggest to kind of just start over if you must. Or I mean, if you have that many issues. Okay, so yeah, this will be a little bit different of an episode because obviously I've got a guest here, and I want her to be able to talk about her gardening experience this past year and the vegetables and all of that she is growing. So I'm just gonna see who all is here. Hello, Val. Good to see you. Hello, Angela Crawford. Justin, hi from South Africa. Val.
Wow, nice.
Yes, Val is in northern Arizona. And Jenny just got back from Arizona.
From there.
Yes. Hello from Kansas. Hello, Terry. Hello, Jason. We already know that Jenny is special.
Aw, thank you.
And Cecily, hi from Western Australia. Real life Vikings. That's right, RK. Yes, this is the Viking lady. East Coast of Canada. Marine time. Oh, wait, is this? Ooh, okay, Maritime Misfit. Okay. Hello from East Coast of Canada. Hello from the Midwest. Eric Trainer, Minnesota. All right, guys. So I'm on the wrong account. It's me, Taida. Oh, okay. So, oh, I see. My friend is trying to call me while the live stream is going.
You have another friend?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Unfortunately, she doesn't like it if I have other friends.
That's not true.
No, that's not true at all. Garth, okay. Hello, my friend. So we got everybody here. So checking in from San Diego, Pennsylvania. All right. Thanks.
Yeah.
I like seeing where everybody's from.
Yeah.
We got a wide range of things going on.
Yeah, that's cool. That's really cool.
So we'll get to a bunch of questions and stuff, but I wanted to have Jenny talk about her experience. So last year, she wanted a garden. And so she has...
Australia. I used to live there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Where did you live? Australia.
Melbourne and Adelaide.
Yep.
Yeah.
Also Diamitri Saraswati. Yes, it's like 4 a.m. there, and so she's a real true. She's one of the true believers.
Wow, nice.
She never misses.
Yeah, that's really
it's very
tremendous.
nice.
Cool.
A lot of people from Pam's from South Africa.
That's so great. We need to make a trip there.
Yeah. Oh, I
Yeah,
know.
let's
She's
make a
constantly wanting to go all over the place, which is good.
Yeah.
Taida from Michigan, Edmonton,
I love
Alberta.
Michigan.
All right, guys. So she wanted a garden last year, and she has like an active kind of lifestyle where she would not
Travel a lot.
Yeah, she kind of travels a lot, and so she was like, "So what is the best way that I can take fresh ground and turn it immediately into a garden?" And I said, "Well, it just so happens." You're talking to the right person.
Yeah.
and so we took fresh horse manure. Well, it was composted.
Yeah, it was a giant mound. I mean, giant.
Yeah, there was a huge
mound.
Her friend has a horse farm, and it was a massive mound. I mean, the biggest pile of horse shit I've ever seen. You know, and so
crazy.
We had to use a bobcat, and we got it onto a trailer, and then we took the trailer to her place, and
on fresh lawn. And then laid out rows. And then covered it with fabric.
Yeah.
Some of them, not all of them, which this year we will do all of them.
This year we'll do all of them, yeah. Because contrary to popular understanding, you can plant directly into horse manure. And so it was just regular ground. We put horse manure over the top in a mound about a foot, some of it 2 feet tall, about 3 feet wide, maybe even 4 feet in some of it.
And it was steaming hot. So, yeah, for a minute, I remember you saying, I hope this is going to work.
Yeah,
you know, we didn't 100% know because it's steaming hot and you have it in your mind that maybe it's too hot. You know, everybody talks about the manures being.
Right. Everyone talks about the manures being too hot, but the thing is that they don't actually mean physically hot. So but what we were seeing was actually physically hot.
Physically,
you know, because of the composting action. So that was my only doubt. But I've planted into straight horse manure many times before. So we laid out the rows. The rows, they were about 50 feet long. Do you think?
Yeah. No, the heat did not kill the weed seeds. Somebody just asked.
Right. No, the heat didn't kill the weed seeds in the horse manure.
Which is why
we added, it's over here, but I'll show you guys. But that weed fabric, the landscaping fabric, we covered the rows with that completely, the whole garden area, most of it. And then we had some exposed. But then we just burned the holes into the weed fabric and we planted directly into the horse manure. There was no tilling. There was no laying down cardboard. There was nothing that we did.
Yeah.
And
we had tremendous success. I mean, yeah. You brought things over that you'd started and we put things in. We did beans, we did potatoes, tons of potatoes and tons of sweet potatoes and
the tomatoes, tell them how the tomatoes grew.
The tomatoes were insanity. I just let them, the indeterminates, right? Just go wherever they wanted. And I mean, I don't even know. I brought you some.
She had bushels of them.
Crazy
guys.
amounts.
And she's talking, we didn't even stake most of them. I mean, we didn't support them. They just sprawled all over the landscaping fabric.
Low maintenance.
I'm
all about the low maintenance.
Yeah, that was the key. Because I was like, okay, it's got to be low maintenance if it's going to be successful.
Yeah.
And so that's the issue with most people is that their garden gets out of control. You know, they have these high hopes and they want to till up a big area or they want to create, you know, a big space. But then it gets out, something happens, they go on a trip and once the weeds get out of control.
Yeah. Then it's like overwhelming when you come back and you've got weeds that are 3 foot tall.
Right. And so with the method that we had, how was the weeds?
I didn't have any, except for the other bit where we planted the potatoes.
Right.
We didn't. Because at the time we didn't know that we could plant into the fabric with the potatoes. We now know we can do that, right?
Oh yeah. We're definitely doing that this year.
So the weeds were quite high, and I thought, nah, it's okay because the plants are still thriving. But ... What we found was, can I show this?
Yeah.
This is Nate's potatoes. I got a lot of potatoes, but they were really small.
Small potatoes.
Really small potatoes.
Yeah, and a lot of them were dark green.
Well, that was the other thing that I didn't do. He had told me that at a certain point I need to put the hay on the top.
Maybe speak a little louder, maybe.
Yeah, sorry. He had told me I had to put the hay on the top, and I don't know. I got busy. I went away on a trip. I don't know, and I didn't. I thought it'll be fine.
It'll be all right. He doesn't know what he's talking about. Yeah, it'll be fine. I'll just leave it. Yeah. Well, that's what happens. Okay. So we put down cardboard for the potato bed. We put down cardboard right on top of the grass, and then we put the potatoes right on top of the cardboard, and then we put about a foot of horse manure, just pure horse manure on top of that. And what she should have done then was once they started to sprout, she should have put another foot of straw. That's what I recommended. That would have worked really good. But instead, she, didn't. And then what happened?
It's an experiment.
Right. Oh, it'll be fine.
That way he can talk about.
Right. I was giving you
what
content.
Not to do.
I was giving you content.
Content.
Thank you.
Then you can tell people about.
But what happened was that the horse manure composted down and a bunch of the potatoes were exposed. The horse manure composted to it was only like 2 or 3 inches of stuff. And so there was a bunch of green potatoes because once the potato is exposed to the light, it turns green. This one just started to. Yeah. But yeah, that's not really what you want.
No.
So this year we're going to do the same method pretty much, except we're going to put the landscaping fabric. and they will boom put the holes through.
Will I still have to put the hay on top of the landscaping? I feel
No.
like I would. Really?
Nope.
Okay.
We will not have to put the hay on top of the landscape. We'll have to see. We'll have to see how much actual soil there is. But the soil
Right.
itself should be. So we'll dig down a little bit this year,
Yeah.
and we'll put them, and then we'll put the landscaping fabric on top. Poke many holes in the landscaping fabric, and the potato tuber will find its way through. I'll be making a video about this stuff.
The straw prevents the sun from getting to the top of the potatoes.
Also, weed growth. Yeah,
And
Chad.
the weed,
Chad
yeah, and
says,
the weed.
does straw prevent weed growth? It prevents weed growth for one, but primarily it keeps the sun off of it. That's the issue. And we don't really like to use leaf mold unless it's nice and composted, or kind of broken down already, because the leaves can be a little bit. If you put a foot of leaves on top of the potatoes, a lot of them will not be able to make their way through it. The straw, they can make their way through. Okay. Frank says agricultural knowledge is life changing. Absolutely correct. Yes, she was loving it. I mean,
Yeah.
as far as
I mean, I'd always been helping him in his garden, so I thought, well, I don't need mine, but now we all need to grow our food.
yeah,
So it was the first trial for me in my
but
it was good.
and what I think that was super important on my end. I wanted her to have a very positive first experience.
And it was, oh, wow. I got, as it was not doing anything, I still got buckets of sweet potatoes and buckets of potatoes. So
She got
Yeah.
bushels of
and
tomatoes, potatoes.
crazy. I have so
Yeah.
many canned tomatoes. It's insane.
Yeah. What do you think about the Cherokee purples?
Don't even get another tomato.
Yeah, listen, guys.
If I had one tomato or anything, if I had one vegetable to grow, it would be the purple Cherokees. They're insane. They're meaty and the flavor is insanity. Oh man, yeah, I can't wait.
Yeah. The flavor is
wait.
so
The
delicious.
flavor's so
And
delicious.
her Cherokee purples did unbelievably well. Her tomatoes just
They
did
were
unbelievably well
huge.
because they just loved their environment.
Yeah.
And she didn't fertilize one time the whole time. It's the horse manure and stuff.
I watch all the videos.
Yeah, she watches them for moral support. But
And I'm like, he's making it. I'll just get it from him.
yeah, I'll just
if
get some
I-
from
yeah.
him. Yeah, no big deal. This year we might need to add some though.
No, I
But
think so.
Because
Yeah.
But so let's see. Well, and she had so many beans. I made her a bean trellis, and she had so many beans crawling up them that it snapped the rope.
Fell.
It
Yeah.
fell down. It was tragic.
It's tragic.
was
But I
tragic.
still got a fair amount of beans as well, even though they were laying on the ground.
Yeah.
I propped some of them up, but this year, we've got to definitely have a wire because it was because of the horse manure. They were so abundant and leafy and beautiful that it was like, it was gorgeous. 10 foot up.
Yeah, 10 feet up. There was hundreds of pounds
Oh, my gosh.
on that thing, and then it just
It
collapsed
just
the rope.
collapsed. I
Yeah.
think we had a big storm. And so this year we've got to put wire. We'll do wire.
Yeah, we'll do a wire. We'll make it
Yeah.
beefier for sure this year. So
Because
let's
the
see.
beans are amazing.
Oh yeah, the beans were amazing. Oh man, I can't talk right now. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Okay, so let's see here. Katie says, I'll be trying your tomato trellising method this year. I have big tomato goals. Nice. You want to make sure, if you're doing the string trellis, you want to make
man.
sure that you stay up on those suckers. Because she thought she was going to do that. And what happened?
Yeah, you really got it. It's a craft, to put it that way. I mean, I thought I was doing it. I was giving it the time, but you really got to be ruthless and get all those things off.
You have to get every sucker off.
Every sucker off.
Yeah, if you're doing the
every
string
one. I was
training
like,
method.
oh, well, that one's grown really well. I'll just leave it. But no, you got to be ruthless. And so
Yeah.
there is definitely a technique.
Yeah,
to doing
and
it.
tell them about how does the purple bumblebee grow? You had some of those?
Which one?
Didn't you have the small? Did you have any of
Oh,
those? this
yes,
year?
I did, with the little stripes
Yeah, and they
on
grow
them.
out. They
Oh,
grow
man,
really, really
they're-
vigorous.
There. Yeah. The tomato. I mean, I had too many tomatoes.
And she only had, I think, 12 plants.
Yeah.
There was like 12 plants. A couple
But
of them
they
even
were
died,
giant,
maybe.
and then they
Yeah.
sprawled out, and then I had, they took over that end of the garden for sure. But man, I was getting tomatoes until November. I was still getting tomatoes. So
Mm-hmm. And guys, listen to this. Once they were established, how often did you water?
never. I never watered. And we had a drought.
We had a horrible drought this year.
Drought, and I went out and to plant. You gave me, I think, one of those ground cherries plants. In the middle of summer, I went out to put it in and dug down into that, and it was moist down in that manure. Not just like, it was like sopping.
Listen
and
to
it was
this.
in a drought.
We went
amazed.
we went like 8 weeks without a drop of rain, and it was blazing
watered.
hot. And she never watered, and it was still moist down below because we had the 2 feet of horse manure, the soil underneath, and then we had that landscaping fabric. So I'm not saying that it's ideal for everybody, but if your goals are very low maintenance for high production, then because I knew she was not gonna. She had all these goals and stuff, and I was like, let's reel it in a little bit, and then we'll do it this other way.
Better than me sometimes.
Yeah. She was like, no, I'll take care of him. Absolutely. I was like, well, okay, but let's pretend like you're not going to take care of him, and then lo and behold. So let's see some of the questions here. And hello, good evening from Germany. Hello, Oliver.
Nice.
And one guy said,
beans can pull down a wall.
Oh yeah, beans can pull down the trellis, no problem. Would I get the same results from cow manure? You can, although cow manure really must be composted. I mean, you can't, in my experience, you can't plant directly into fresh cow manure because it's more hot. Remember what I tell you always about the salts and things like that? Is that it's a lot more hot. There's a lot more urea and fertilizer salts in the cow manure. And so you will want to let it compost a bit more. But yeah, you can do the same thing with cow manure, definitely. And let's see. Dimitri says, we've only ever got small potatoes. What are we doing wrong? Well, there's probably a number of things. One is that they don't stay moist enough, and perhaps the root zone gets too hot. Once the root zone gets above 80, 85, give or take, then they totally shut down tuber production. So the plants themselves, the green part, can take quite a bit of heat if the roots stay cool. And so that's the thing. You want to keep it through like a drip line. If you're in Australia, and it's like, I'm envisioning really arid, kind of hot, then you'd want maybe drip lines underneath, some landscaping fabric or some mulch of some kind, the leaf mold. So constant moisture is really good for them because, like I said, if the root zone gets too hot, it's done. They will shut down production, and you'll dig up your potatoes, and there's a bunch of small potatoes and a bunch of soil.
She said it was hot and humid. Oh, you must be up north.
Hot and humid there. Okay. Well, yeah, it's the hotness definitely. So you'll have to do something that will shade out their roots and give them a nice supply of moisture, and then plenty of nutrients, because potatoes are very, very hungry. So if you do the grow bag method, for example, that I made the video about, and you fill the whole thing pretty much full of compost, like something rich, or horse manure, something like that, and you plant potatoes in there, you plant 3 whole potatoes or 4 whole potatoes. I never cut the potatoes. Then you should get so many potatoes that there's far more potatoes than soil in the bag. It's just magnificent. The potatoes will convert the soil into potatoes. And so when you go to dump it out, it'll be mostly just potato after potato. Nice big ones that are rock hard, even mid-January still. See, it's starting to sprout a little bit, but it's still solid, very, very edible.
Mine are doing well too, the little ones.
Yeah, the little tiny ones.
Little tiny
like
ones.
that, yeah.
Well, they make good potato salad, okay? I don't have to cut them up.
Yeah. Let's see. I find smaller, half an egg size potato seed starts give the most yield. Yes, smaller. Yeah, I never plant one this big. I would plant egg size, or even smaller. But a lot of people want to cut the potatoes because that's like what their grandparents did, or that's what they see farmers doing. But you actually, here's the thing, guys, and I get asked this question a lot. Each eye that's going to come out gives a vine. And so you're going to get the same number of plants off a whole potato as if you cut it or not. And the yield will be almost exactly the same. The reason that people cut the potatoes and put them the reason they cut them is because they want to do long, thin rows, like in traditional agriculture. And so where they can hoe in between, or where they can, for whatever reason. That's the only time that you would really do sliced potatoes is if you need to do one potato plant rows like that. And but other than that, I find more vigorous growth off planting the whole potato. But again, yes, only golf ball sized potatoes really are good for planting. Yes, you're welcome. Let's see. Can you please answer the SMA says, can you please answer the question in the comment section in the last video? Well, come on. Re-ask the question. I can answer it now. I'm not sure what you're talking about. But I'll be happy to ask it now or answer it now. And that guy, Chris, small taters usually means you let too many sprout from a single potato. I found only 1 to 2 sprout. The resulting potatoes are bigger and less of them. Definitely, that is another method if you're trying to get bigger potatoes, is that they were crowded out. So a lot of times if people are growing in 5-gallon buckets and stuff, that happens a lot because they're too crowded. So yes, that's another very good way to do it. And let's see here. So thanks for the can with rabbit manure. Yeah, if you get enough rabbit manure, you could, but you'd have to really have a lot of rabbit manure for that to make these mounds, huh? So
yeah, they were like 20 feet long.
Yeah. So what are some other things that you with your garden? What were some things that you liked?
I made the first mistake because I watched the video and didn't watch it through to the end and went out and sprayed. I sprayed the one of the
J-Dom natural pesticide.
Yeah, in the morning. I thought, oh, the sun's not directly on it. No, don't do that. I burnt the hell out of everything. Yeah, instantly. Like my kales and my greens and stuff. Yeah, because they, I had little things. Wormies.
She sprayed it on in the morning and got direct sunlight on it.
Yeah,
and fried the plant.
Fried everything immediately.
Yes.
They recovered, but once that happens, it's hard for them to recover. They don't thrive as well as if you didn't do that. Mm-hmm. So I told him, and he's like, "Did you watch the end of the video?"
Yeah.
I said, "Oh, whoops."
He's like, "What? The end? What do you mean?"
Yeah, where he says very specifically, "Do it at night.
Mm-hmm.
Do it at night."
Yeah, and remember that, guys.
Yeah.
You really want to spray anything that you're going to spray on the leaves.
Do it at night.
Yeah, you want to do it at night for the most part, unless mold or fungus is going to be a real big issue. Then do it early morning so that it has enough time to totally dry off before the sun comes up, and that's important. Okay.
Let's see that one.
And let's see. Drew says, how long do your peas produce into the summer? Do you prefer to dehydrate or freeze them? Thanks for a wonderful show. You're welcome. Let's see. How long do the peas produce into the summer? So they don't produce that long. So that's why the first round of peas, you want to get them in the ground as early as possible. So for me, that is, I typically... Some people say St. Patrick's Day around here, but I feel like that's too early because they just sit in the soil, in the cold, wet soil for like a month. The temperature for peas is very important. So the difference between those 4 weeks is tremendous. So if you plant them too early and the soil is still wet, super wet and cold and stuff, they're just going to sit there. As if you waited another couple of weeks, they'll grow more vigorous and right past those ones that have been all stunted. And so they will be done producing by about mid-June. And then...
I saw a comment about the stuff in the horse. My friend's horses, we know what's in the horse manure. Somebody said something about the antibiotics and stuff.
Oh, yeah. Definitely. Mm-hmm. Yes. And I try to say that all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you want to be careful. You want to really know the source of the manure. Mm-hmm. And I made a video all about manure where I talk about, what a tragedy it is that we can't utilize this thing that has for thousands of years been the foundation of human agriculture, manure, because animals and agriculture have coexisted for many thousands of years. And so manure is some of the best stuff that you can use. But now we have to be all,
Yeah, you got to be careful. It's ridiculous.
But we know that these people, they pamper the horses.
Yeah.
They keep horses for people and stuff.
They use them for therapy and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. And they're all about being natural and everything. So they, Let's see. Okay, how did Jenny put the low maintenance garden toad? Oh, probably to bed in winter. Ooh, were there any inputs? That's a great question. How did Jenny put the garden to bed? Go ahead and tell us.
I went out and I blessed it. Have a good winter garden.
Yeah, and that's about it. Yeah, no, because I was telling her, Jenny, you got to pull up that fabric.
Oh my gosh.
And so what happened?
Yeah, no, I haven't done that. Although right now we were saying, nor did I get my garlic in. And,
Right.
Yeah, I like I said, I'm just I just give him good content to say she didn't do this.
Right.
But I could get my garlic in because, sorry, but global warming in Indiana is crazy warm right now. So I
Crazy.
still could plant things. And some things keep growing, like the kale keeps growing here,
Yeah.
even in the winter.
Yep.
Yeah.
But I think she still has time for the garlic. I mean, it's not going to be quite. It's probably not going to. It's not going to be
Worth the
the same.
experiment anyway.
It's still going to be good though,
Yeah.
because it's still going to have a chance to vernalize. It's still going to get frozen. There'll still be some frozen times, and so it should still work.
Yeah.
But you want to get on that kind of before too long. It's like February.
I just went out and harvested the last of my beans, because they collapsed, and so they were on the ground. And so I let all of the leaves wither and everything, and went out, it was maybe a month ago, and all the leaves were gone, and I just picked all the beans, and they were fantastic. I shelled them. I shelled those by hand because I didn't want to drive up just for the batch.
For the bean sheller.
The bean sheller.
Yeah. I'll show you guys how to use the bean sheller this year, man.
That's
it is
a game changer.
Yeah, game changing, seriously. It's just with the peas. Man, I was able to harvest a lot of peas, way more than I would have. I never just sit there and mess
did it
around.
by hand.
We did, yeah. And we also did the pillowcase method and stuff, which, kind of works and stuff. Maybe I'll make a video about that. But the bean sheller is the way to go.
Yeah.
Because we're going to really be doing it now.
Yeah, I mean, get together with your neighbors and go in on one and buy one.
Yeah, definitely.
Because you only need it for a little window, but...
Right, yeah. If you guys have multiple people, look up the Taylor P. Sheller. Yep, that's a big pro tip right there, guys. If you have multiple people that can go in on it, then it would make more financial sense. And say, okay, well, you guys can, well 5 families will use it. It's well worth it. Let's see. Dimitri says, too hot at the moment for growing. Resting the beds, covered with sugarcane mulch, and will soon use JMS ready to replant soon. Nice.
Sugarcane mulch, cool.
Yeah, because that's what they got around here. Let's see. I always miss your live streams, but here now. Hello, Lori. She says, who is your lovely guest?
Jenny. Hi.
That's Jenny.
It's Jenny.
Jenny. Yeah. She is a very dear friend of mine. And let's say, Han says, I made Jadam yesterday. It's been 24 hours. It looks weird. Like 3 big bubbles, some foam. Okay, what is the temperature? Remember, you got to get that temperature up. So if you have the aquarium heater, 75 degrees. Also, I wanted to tell you guys something that I forgot to tell you in the Jadam winter JMS video, is that if you have your seed starting mat, you can use the seed starting mat to wrap it around the bucket and strap it with some string or rope, and then nice.
Thanks.
And then that will heat it up. Okay, so you can utilize that. Let's see. Oh, look. See, I told you they were gonna love you. So, see, Angela says, Jenny, please come back. You're so relatable, and I appreciate your honest, real self.
Thank you.
We all love that about her. Say, Rachel says, it's lovely to see Jenny here with the Viking fam.
Yeah.
Yes,
thank
it is. Miss KC says, unrelated. Jenny, you were in the Master Cleanse video, right? It was helpful.
Yes. I'm getting ready to start the Master Cleanse. Yeah, and guide a few people through that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again.
Yep. Her very first day, or her very first time, she did 25 days.
Yeah.
25 days, guys. That's pretty awesome.
Now I do it every 6 months. It just is good.
Yeah.
And different experience every time. But yeah, you gotta,
Yep.
He introduces me all this stuff, and I'm the test dummy. I just do,
Yeah.
okay, Nate, whatever.
Yeah, okay.
Whatever you say,
Yeah.
Nate, okay.
Oh yeah, she came over and immediately, okay, so I got the sauna fired up and ice bath next.
Ice bath.
She's like,
Yeah.
okay.
Oh, okay.
Oh, but she does it, of course.
Yeah,
It was
of course.
wonderful, yeah. So let's see. Let's ask Jenny some questions about her garden because it's good. Her experience is
The
really
novice.
good. Yeah, the rookie. Let's ask the rookie.
Ask the rookie.
Some of her rookie questions.
No, but the funny thing, it's important to note that, many, many years ago, I took the Master Gardener course, right? With the Soil and Water Conservation District, they have these Master Gardener courses. And it's silly how ridiculous it is, and you don't get this information.
Listen up, guys.
Yeah, it's silly. It's like their knowledge and what they're teaching people that are master gardeners is just so basic. Maybe it's changed, now that was many, many years ago, but we just didn't understand how to, rebuild the soil and, how you're supporting the system that's underneath is what's supporting the plant, not just the sunlight, and water and all that. There's a lot of things happening all at once. And they just, I didn't get any of that. So it felt like I was a novice, even though I thought I was a master gardener. What do you mean,
Yeah. And she is, Chad says, I imagine it's just as stupid today.
Yeah, probably.
I could imagine that. A lot of people ask, are you a master gardener? I say.
Master is relative.
Right,
Tell
master
him
is relative, yeah. I said, well, of course. We're like, oh, where'd you get your certification? What do you mean?
What do you mean?
Yeah, I certified myself.
Yeah. I'm the
no.
master of the masters certification course.
Yeah, this is the golden masters. And tell them then about, she's a soil scientist as well.
Oh,
tell them a little bit about your experience.
Yeah, that's the other thing. My degree is in environmental science, and I was a certified soil scientist. And again, when I met Nate and when he started on this, because we've known each other a few years before the channel, and I'm just like, wait, what? Like, we never measured the microbial amount or, what, we didn't have an understanding of what was going on. We literally just measured for clay content and mineral content, even as a soil scientist, I mean, just a joke. It's a joke.
Yeah. And when she was telling me that, I was like, wow, okay. Because I was telling her things about, okay, whatever you put into the soil cannot be absorbed by the plant. It first must be digested by the two primaries, which is the bacteria and the fungi. And then the protozoa eat them and the nematodes and all that. And then it becomes unlocked in a plant available form. And she was unaware of these things.
Totally. Yeah, totally. As a soil scientist, like, I thought, wow. But, that's like anything, isn't it?
Right. It's a reflection of the modern atmosphere, the modern
There's
culture.
There's a thing that we get stuck on, and we teach it the same way. The thing that I appreciate about Nate is that he asked the questions, and then you're like, well, wait a minute. Yeah, I've been saying the same thing, doing it the same way forever, and he's always asking the questions. That's where his value is. Yeah. And asking the hard questions.
Yeah, asking the questions and saying, well, just because this is the way, just because it's the way we've always done it, doesn't mean that that's the most optimal way.
Yeah.
The
Viking way.
The Viking way. Exactly. Yes. Is to explore and to find what works the best.
Yeah.
And then to don't be afraid to leave behind what no longer serves you. That's what the spirit of the Vikings. They go out and assimilate into the cultures that they,
that they pilfered.
Right, that they,
pillaged.
that they visited.
They visited. Hi, everybody.
Okay,
We're
let's
here.
see. We had a couple, let's see. We don't need no stinking badges, right, Nate? That's right. Yeah, no, we make our own because who are the people certifying? I mean, that's my question is, okay, you want to certify, I have to take your course to get certified, but where are your credentials? Who taught you? And let's explain, let's display our knowledge and let's have a conversation about it. And then, but as soon as I start doing that, then I see, okay, they don't really have an understanding of the way that it works. They understand how to apply fertilizers. They understand how to get a soil test and then start adjusting pH and all of that. But none of that has anything to do with the way nature does it. That nature does it through biology. And the human way is to do it through chemistry and to think that it's the same thing, but it's not at all. Certified by life experience, that's right. Someone back up here said, Jenny, what is your favorite thing to grow and why?
I love okra.
Oh, God, that's right.
He doesn't like okra.
That's my one plant I don't like.
I know, he doesn't like it, and I love it. I love to eat it, but I love the way it looks as well. It's gorgeous. The mom.
The Mom General, $9.99.
Nice.
First tip of the day. Thank you very much, my friend.
Aw.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, I love okra. I'm gonna plant way more of that this year, and let's see what else. The purple Cherokee tomatoes.
Purple Cherokee.
Those are my favorites.
I just want to say something about the Purple Cherokee, though. It is not the most vigorous plant. So you want to plant more. The Purple Cherokee, almost, some would say it's not for beginners. Miss P says, yes, love okra.
Yeah.
And the glowers. Nice.
Okra
And,
and soups. Yeah.
oh yeah.
I just
The Cherokee purples, you have to plant multiple of them because they're not that vigorous.
yeah.
You know, as compared to like the purple bumblebee or something.
In a way, but mine in the horse manure anyway, they loved the horse manure because they were big. So they might not get like tons, but they were big and heavy and like, knocking the plant down.
And so guys, you can totally lay down horse manure, put the weed fabric over it, put holes in it, and plant your tomatoes and never do anything again to it. Don't stake them, nothing. And you have fantastic results. Yeah. We should have taken more pictures.
I think I did. But I also planted marigolds next to them too. They're good companion plants.
Yes, they were very good companions. And man, she planted I gave her a couple ground cherry plants. Last year was my first year really growing them myself. I've had them before, but man, it takes them a long time. What's your experience?
Yeah, it was when I didn't even pay attention to it. And finally I came out and they were literally just littered all over off of one plant. I got enough to like make a jam, like a sauce with it. And they taste different throughout the time too. They change the taste. I don't know.
That's the biggest thing. Yeah. So if you're going to plant ground cherries, which I strongly recommend it this year, definitely do it. It's one of the only annuals that is like a fruit, and it tastes just like it. But for the first 2/3 of the season, they had like an unpleasant,
weird, savory, bizarre flavor.
kind of a bizarre, a little bit sweet. And I was like,
we're not going to
oh,
take up
man.
space in the garden for that.
I was super disappointed because I had high hopes for them. Because I tasted them when I was out traveling and stuff, and they were divine. But then the last third of the season, give or take, something shifted, and the ground cherries were unbelievably delicious. I mean, to the point where I'm going to plant 10 times the amount this year. Seriously, they were fruit. No, you still need to plant them. No, you still need to plant them. You still need to plant them. Because hers, I did a lot of experimenting with her, because
It was all an experiment.
well, she's a good test subject because she is, busy with the life and stuff, and she's not into going out in the garden and weeding all the time. Some people love that. Some people love weeding.
I do love it too, but it's not always something I can do.
Right.
Oh, good. You like okra too.
Heinz Ketchup, $1.99. Thank you very much, my friend. Second tip of the day.
But it was also because I think most of, I don't know what the percentage is, but a lot of people that are watching you, that is the thing. Like, well, I don't have time, but I need to grow. I want to grow my own food, but I don't have the time. And so you can do it. Maybe I didn't get as big a potatoes as Nate, but I got a ton of them and I didn't weed. Well, I did late in the season. And I went, this is important too. I went and I cut them. I did not pull weeds. Don't pull weeds out of a potato bed. You just shock everything. When you got the system going, just go in there and just cut them and leave the roots in there.
Yeah, and she's talking about the potato bed because the potato bed is the one we put the cardboard, the potatoes, and the horse manure right on top. And then we didn't put any straw or weed fabric over it. And so, like I've been saying, horse manure, even composted horse manure, is full of weed seeds.
Full.
And so, because the horse does not digest their food as thoroughly as the cow does. And so there's a lot of whatever they're eating. And so the potato bed exploded with weeds, which is what the whole garden would have looked like if we didn't do the weed fabric.
Yeah. But the other was fine. I didn't pull any weeds. Not a single one.
She didn't pull weeds, she didn't water, and she got fantastic harvest. I mean, I was impressed by it. Very impressed. So let's see what some of you guys are saying. Someone
It's all my
asked,
great energy. I did seriously go out and sing to my plants.
oh,
I did
definitely.
do that. Yeah.
Oh man, she has a beautiful singing voice.
Aw.
But don't tell her that. Yeah,
Don't let
she
her
really
know.
does. Yeah, don't let her
Her
know
head
that.
will get
Yeah,
big.
it'll get too big. So Angela Taida says, "I've never heard of ground cherries." Oh yeah, they are they are in the nightshade. They're in the Solanaceae family. The same as tomatoes and peppers and stuff. They're like a cousin of tomatoes. But if you get the right ones, get the oh man.
Yeah. What,
Oh, I'll
Are
have
there
to tell you next time. No, there's a couple of different kinds, but I will have to tell you next time. Cusacks. Cusacks. That sounds right. Cusacks ground cherry with a C. Okay. Yeah, you can look that up. So cattle manure better than horse. My property is across the road from 300 acres of grazing cattle. Nice. Now you'll want to make sure, of course, that they are not feeding on stuff that's been sprayed with like a Grazon, a broadleaf herbicide or something. And then if that's the case, you can collect that. Yes. And you can incorporate it into the soil, but absolutely, it is very nice and powerful. That's what people have been using for thousands of years is manures. And it's really the ideal because it's just grass. So let's see. I got a bunch of farm weeds from a load of manure once. It was horrible. Good one. Horrible. Yeah. You got to have a system in place for it. Okay. Busy Girl says, that didn't go good for us. The Purple Cherokee heirloom had a lot of tomatoes, but struggled. Oof. Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. The Purple Cherokee is not so much for a beginner. I'm not calling you a beginner, but she was.
I was.
But still did a really fantastic
It was that
result.
horse manure. I mean, everything. I had to, zucchinis and squash and cucumbers and everything. I mean, I just had so many. It was they loved that horse manure, and they, that we didn't till a single thing. So whatever system was underneath the ground, we left it. We learned a big lesson the first year with his garden. We tilled the crap out of it, thinking that was the right thing to do. And
because I didn't have any other plan in place here or time to get rid of the grass. Because I was like, hey, I want to create a garden like right now. You know, and I didn't have any money, no resource. I couldn't buy a tarp even at that time. I didn't have any. And so I was just like, so I borrowed her dad's tiller,
And we tilled the hell out of it. And
then everything just got super compacted, like rock. And then,
really
learning
the
experience.
only time I ever saw him kind of sad, because he never get sad. He was just kind of like,
oh, yeah. Oh,
nothing
man.
was growing.
Nothing. Yeah, that first year was really wild.
But you rebounded within that same season, though, and it was beautiful.
Yes.
Once you,
because I understand the foundation and the fundamentals. But I was coming from being in Northern California, in the redwoods,
learning new system.
where things. So I came here, and the soil's totally different here. The weather is completely different. The insects are totally different. And so I was like, whoa. So what worked in California, Northern California, did not work here. And so I was like, oh man, I forgot. Because when I left this place 10 years prior, I was not growing stuff, I found my whole love of growing in Northern California, of course. So let's see. Lori says, Baker Creek has Aunt Molly or New Hanover. New Hanover, get those ones. Yes, I think that's another one I've grown. Yes, New Hanover. And
hail to the foggy mountains.
Hail to the foggy mountains. The misty mountains. I had Purple Cherokee planted in September, October. It's still growing here in California. Oh, that's very nice. I'm very happy for you. Very happy for you. Yeah,
I'm going to get in the car and drive to you then. That's how much I love them.
Yeah. Well, that's not here. It's not growing here.
No. Although I had them, like I said, into November here.
Yeah. Really late. So, Nate, is moss a sign of imbalance in the soil? No, not necessarily. So if it's an indoor on your seedlings, is that what you're talking about? Then it's a sign that too much water, not enough airflow, and maybe too compact of growing medium. So those, and not enough temperature generally. So, but if it's outside, nothing to worry about. Except that if moss is growing, that means the soil's not really draining that well though. Or there's not enough light there. So you can use it as an indicator, but it doesn't indicate an imbalance in the soil. It would indicate a imbalance in your system, in your setup. So, you want to change some of the elements.
The There was a question about starting seeds up there.
Oh, yeah? Wayfaring Farmer says, shalom. Shalom, my friend.
That one.
Okay. David says, if you can't afford heat mats to start seedlings, can you plant seeds directly into the garden and when? Yes. Yes, you can. But wait, someone, I think Val, $5. Thank you very much, my friend. I appreciate it. I saw you. I will answer your question in a moment. So he says, if you can't afford heat mats for seed starting, can you plant them directly into the garden? Yes, you can. The advantages of starting seeds, though, are vast because you get a plant that you can then plant into a certain area. Starting seeds in place can be very challenging, especially in the early spring when slugs are out and insects are out, and you'll be waiting for them to come up for a long time and then not realize that they've been decimated by slugs and that they already tried to come up. So it's really good to, so if you don't have the money for that, then I would suggest creating a type of hotbed or a cold frame outside where you can get at least a couple of weeks jump on the season. Okay. Or winter sowing. You can do winter sowing still, which I was going to make a video about, but I didn't know if there's enough interest in it. I should still do it though. But winter sowing is the thing with the milk jugs, and you just put them into the soil with the milk jugs outside, and they come up on their own about 2 to 3 weeks before they typically would in the garden. Because it's so nice to be able to, okay, take one plant and put it right into its spot. You'll just have a lot better success that way. So I would recommend at least getting some solo cups, put the drainage holes in them, and then you can start them up outside under some kind of a cover. There are all kinds of methods and ideas and stuff like that. I can't explain it all right now, but I should make videos about them. Definitely in the future. Let's see here. Let's see. Found one called Cossack ground cherry. That's the one, Mitch. That's the one. Yep. Shooting the soil. Hello and good day. Hello, my friend. And yeah, do some more soil microscope videos. Bushcraft. Hello, my friend. He says my Australian brown onions came up in 3 days following the Garden Like a Viking tutorial. Nice. 3 days. That's some good quality seeds. That's a good setup right there, my friend. So let's see. What are some things that you want to be growing this year, Jenny? What do you want to focus on more and why?
The beans. The beans and the potatoes and the sweet potatoes, because they store, yeah, because they store, and you can, have them, it's like stability. It makes me feel better to have the crops that I can store. So, and anything I can for sure. The tomatoes, and I am going to do corn for cornmeal this year.
Yes.
Yeah, I want to
tell them what happened to your corn last year, or tell them your corn experience.
Yeah, corn's a little tough. I mean, because it's difficult because they get a lot of, where we are in Indiana, they get a lot of worms and things that go on. You had a really cool with the truffle. You had the fungus.
Oh yeah,
cool
I had the corn
happened.
Truffle. Corn smut, they call it.
Yeah, so my corn, I didn't have a great, again, like I didn't spray anything on it. I sprayed nothing on it. So with that in mind, I just, shucked them and cut off the bad bits and the bits with the worms and dealt with it. And so I still had quite a bit, but it was not my focus, corn.
It was not the focus, but she's talking about sweet corn. And I could tell, I saw it and stuff, and I saw her issues, and it primarily was overcrowding. We planted way too many too close.
Yeah.
And the plants don't like that. Corn you can plant pretty close, but they like to have enough room to really not be crowded. When they're crowded, they become really susceptible to different diseases and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so so this year we would, she's wanting to grow flint corn for dry corn.
Dry corn.
Yes.
To grind up.
Double A says, I had corn smut last year too. Did you eat the corn smut? Yes. Guys, the corn smut is better than the corn. The corn smut goes for $45 a pound out west. Okay. Way more than the corn does. And you definitely... I didn't know that. Orville Redenbacher?
It was right near my house. The factory, yeah.
Didn't know that. But the, what was I talking about? The corn smut. Guys, it's delicious. It's like a mushroom. Or it is. It's a fungi. And so you take it and create a dish like a vegetarian pulled pork. That is the best to do with the corn smut, with cumin and a little bit of apple cider vinegar. It's a little bit of tomato paste, the dehydrated tomato paste. Okay, goodbye,
He's
Dimitri.
an insanely good cook. Holy cow. Wow. I don't even bother.
I love to cook, though.
He loves to cook.
And what I like is she loves to eat. She loves to enjoy the food.
Yeah, it's
So.
like, he's such a good cook. He could almost have a cooking channel, honestly.
I would love
crazy.
to, actually. I would really like to.
Yeah, I
Right from
know.
the garden.
Yeah.
Cooking like a Viking.
Cooking like a Viking.
Cooking like a Viking. I think we just came up with the next channel name.
Yeah.
Also, I gotta give a shout out to Jerry. Jerry gave me all kinds of good ideas. He said you should bring all the channels under the name Travel Like a Viking, my traveling channel, and Cooking Like a Viking. And that would be great. If I had a social media team where the other people could edit and produce the videos, I would make content all day. I could have 5 different channels where all I was doing was but they would have to film me, you know what I mean? And they would have to edit it because that's what takes so long, especially for someone like me that is not about technology. I'm not like the phone guy and all that kind of stuff. I'm only doing this because I'm only doing the technology as a tool, a means to an end. But
You'd be great content for like one of those reality TV shows, only yours would actually be real.
yeah, actual reality
yours would
show.
be actually real.
Yeah, the real reality show. Let's see. Eric Henson, $20. Thank you very much, my friend. Says bingo. Thanks again very much to you and the Garden Like a Viking family. Nice, man. Appreciate that. And let's see here. Lori says, just sprinkle some cooking videos in once in a while. I know. I would like to. But the thing is that it's like, you have to do, if you want to grow the channel.
Saturday morning live cooking.
Oh, that would be fun. Cooking with us, that would be fun, actually. If we had if we had a film crew. We need a film crew following us around.
All the time.
It would be very entertaining. So the cooking videos, though, I should make some of those. Definitely when the produce starts coming in. That's what I'll do.
Because he not only does he cook, but all the spices he uses, almost all of them, he's made himself as well. It's crazy. Have you ever photographed your pantry?
Maybe a little bit.
Beautiful. It's beautiful. It feels so nice.
Yeah. The pantry is a bunch of spices, things dried, all in the mason jars. It's very good.
Everything
and
he's made.
making the peppers and all of that stuff is so nice. Okay.
Bloopers and all.
Give us bloopers and all. Oh man, that would be pretty funny if it was like that. Bloopers and everything. Yeah. Mom Computer, hello, my friend. Good to see you here. You make great videos, Nate. Thought you were a pro. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you. No, I'm only doing that because it's a means to spreading the knowledge. That's what it's all about. And so if it would be better, if it would spread more knowledge, having a film crew and an editor, that would be good too. So, guys, and okay, 3, I think, let me tell them some things about your garden. Talk for a minute.
Oh, okay. It's put me on the spot. I'm going to add this year. Last year we were rushed due to some things that were happening in my life. But like I watered when I initially put everything in. I did water for maybe a week, maybe just when I put all the things in.
Yeah, she did get it started with the sprinkler. She soaked it.
Started. Yeah, I did that really well. But then after that, like I didn't add any water on even in a drought. So that really is the way to go. If anybody out there is like first timing it and in their garden.
Mm-hmm. And the reason is, and I see this a lot, people want to set up sprinklers and they want to water it every day for just a little bit. Mm-mm. And if you have grow bags or something like that dry out fast, okay, that's acceptable. But if you have like her scenario, if you water too often, then the plant roots
they stay shallow. And you don't want them. You want them to go down in and get the water themselves. You want to give them a little bit of a struggle.
That's right. They'll reach down deep and look for it. Because if you water too often, then they stay real at the surface.
Mm-hmm. And then when the soil gets hot, they get fried up. Mm-hmm. And that's it. And
they're not resilient. And there's not a lot of nutrients there. They want to go deep. So, guys, on the 4th of March, the Saturday live stream will not be happening. Okay? The 4th of March. Because we are going down to the South Arkansas alligator snapping turtle farm. And we're participating in an event, Move to Preserve, with Rusty Reed, the Turtle Man. And he's got a YouTube channel, and he's a friend of mine. And so we're going to move 100 or more of these giant alligator snapping turtles from one place where they're overpopulated and they're starting to fight and kill each other. It's bad. So we're going to drain the pond. We're going to wrestle these turtles. Some of them are 100 years old, some of these. And then we're going to move them into a new pond so that they can be preserved and start to breed again and stuff. It's called the Move to Preserve. And so I invited her, and she was like, well, yeah, wrestling turtles?
Yeah,
I'm in. Yeah. But so it's going to be, guys, South Arkansas. We're going to be reaching into the mud and doing all kinds of stuff like that. And
yeah, it's going to be fun.
Yeah, exactly. It's quality time with your fingers. But here's the thing. I'm not actually going to really be that much. I'm going down to film it.
We're on the film crew. Yeah.
Record the turtle video. That's actually, we're more about filming.
Yeah.
I actually don't think I'm going to be the one that's sticking my hand in there. That's just not going to happen.
No.
You know, and I recommend her neither.
No.
Even though.
No, I'll get in there. I don't mind to get dirty, but those things can take your arm off.
Oh, they could take your hand off, no problem. And these people are just reaching down into the mud. Just, I think I feel one. And there's got a big mouth like this. Just wham. So forget that.
No.
So that's what I meant to say. They will be wrestling. We will be filming.
Yeah.
So
we'll be filming.
So yeah, I want to put a video. I'll probably put that video either on my Nate Muri channel or my Travel Like a Viking channel. Mm-hmm. So we'll see. And $2. Thanks, Drew. Appreciate that. How do you manage cucumber beetles? Yeah, cucumber beetles are a real pain. But a good thing to do is the J-Dom sulfur. You can spray that because the cucumber beetles, you can see their marks when they mine a little bit on the leaf of the cucumber, and then it turns a dead spot right there. And so you'll see a bunch of yellow spots all over your cucumber leaves, and that breeds infection. And so you want to stop that with the J-Dom sulfur is good for those. Also the powdery mildew, it helps with all of that. But then the J-Dom natural pesticide, the Jerusalem artichoke, is the one that you want to use for the beetles. Jerusalem artichoke, also called the sunchoke, which I will be making a video very soon on so that you guys can see how to make this stuff yourself. So plan on growing the Jerusalem artichoke this year, guys, because that's actually the ultimate J-Dom natural pesticide. That's the one he actually recommends in the books. All the testing's been done. So order some sunchokes, get the Jerusalem artichokes, and plant them. Just be under the knowledge that they can be invasive. Okay, they grow spread their tubers and stuff, but do it because we will need it. And I'll put a video out before too long. Okay. Let's see. There was a donation. Okay, Mick, thank you very much, my friend. $20. Use the local community college's AV department to use your content for a school project. Kids get experience, you get content. That is not a bad idea. I wonder how you should look into that for me.
Oh yeah. Well, I had a restaurant for many years, and we used to do that, use people like that. But it's tricky using people because then they come in and you depend on them, and then because they're students, they ship out. So yeah, it's a little tricky doing that sometimes.
Okay, let's see. That's why people do with the catfishing thing by hand are insane to me. Oh, absolutely. Noodling or whatever it's called is totally unbelievably. Yeah, they do definitely bite. Yes, I know. I will be careful. Laura, you live in Arkansas. Where are you going? I forget the exact. It's the South Arkansas Turtle Refuge. I forget exactly. I'll tell you guys next week for sure. But yeah,
Everybody's gonna show up.
We're gonna make some content for it.
Awesome.
You know? Oh yeah, if you want to show up, definitely. There's gonna be like 20 or 30 of us. You know, Greg Whitstock, the pond guy. He's got a YouTube channel with hundreds of thousands of followers and stuff. He does, huh?
That other guy. What's that other guy's
name? Coyote Peters. Oh no,
Stale
Crack. Oh yeah, Stale Cracker. Stale Cracker's gonna come and do a crawfish boil, I believe. That's what I've been told. So you can look up Stale Cracker, his channel. And we're going to be doing that kind of, he's going to be there. Those kind of people will be there.
It's
So it's
gonna
going
be
to be pretty
so
cool.
great.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty awesome. Let's see. Hi, Nate and Jenny. Just one quick question. If I add vermiculite into the soil along with manure and compost, will it increase yield, for example, when I plant tomato, potato, etc.? Okay, so vermiculite itself does not add any nutrients. Vermiculite is for water absorption and drainage. Okay, so the reason that you would add vermiculite is if you want to increase the moisture holding capability of the soil. So that would be important, right? Now, that
in the manure, you wouldn't need it so much, would you?
right. If it's in the manure, you don't need it so much. And the manure is free and available, and the leaf mold is free and available. Grass clipping, compost, all of that. I would be way more quick to recommend that kind of stuff. Vermiculite can be good if you need to use it in like a certain indoor type setting where a sterile potting medium is advantageous. But instead, make some biochar and inoculate it with the JMS and some of the fish fertilizer and use that into the soil. That will be more productive, much cheaper. I mean, basically free if you make the biochar yourself, which I'll make a video on in the future. So many videos. And then
So little time.
I know, so little time.
It's nearly planting season.
I know, my God, it's almost upon us. So yeah, the vermiculite, it's not necessary, and it's not necessary to spend this money, and it has to get shipped, and the big rigs and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
If you want to, go ahead, but only if you need a sterilized medium that will help to hold water. That's really the only time I could justify that. So, can you grow the Jerusalem artichoke in South Florida? Oh, dude, it will be totally invasive. I mean, not invasive. That term is thrown around way too much. I don't know why I even said it. But
Lost your mind.
lost my mind. I was just trying to be
Must
cool.
be me. It
I was
was
just trying to
surely
be
my
cool.
fault.
It's her.
Yeah, it's
But they just grow really vigorously, and you no matter if you think you got all the tubers out, you pretty much miss one or two. Okay, so so they'll regrow from that. So yes, plant them in like a raised bed or something, and they'll grow nice and tall. They're sunchokes, so they look like a sunflower. And then you will pull up the entire thing, and we will make the pesticide out of it. So everyone that's listening now, get some Jerusalem artichokes and prepare to plant them this year. Okay, they're also edible too, although they're a little bit like wax in my experience.
that sounds yummy.
They're good for diabetics though. So Lori says, Nate, you're going to be busy making videos. We're going to be filming the experience. There's actually no internet connection there. So we're going to, it's in a swamp.
I think she
land,
means just in general, because you've got so many ideas. Yeah,
right,
I think
right,
just
yeah.
in general.
That's true, yes. That's very true. That's why I need like a crew, But we'll get there at some point. Once I get the land and the school happening, she'll be there. And once we get the land and the school happening and all of that, then could justify having the film crew and stuff like that. There'll be so many things happening. I won't have the time to be making all the videos because we'll be doing so much.
Yeah.
The livestock and
It takes a lot of time to do a YouTube channel.
it does.
It's your full-time
Yeah,
job.
she is just starting her YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Do you want to give the name?
Do I want to give the name?
Yeah.
What is my name? No, it's Jenny, the Steel Pane Heart Tarot.
Yeah,
I do tarot readings.
she's got a channel where she's gonna be doing some tarot
Yeah.
readings. So
It's
if
a
you guys are into that kind of thing,
Yeah, it's my platform for administering the tools that, we've cultivated in our lives that have brought the peace and balance into our life. So So that's my way. He does the gardens and I do the magical things.
yeah, the magical things.
It's not magic at all. It's just
Yeah, and I'm concerned more with the food production.
right. I'm cultivating the soul, Nate.
Right, exactly.
You cultivate the soil.
The
I
soil,
cultivate
the soul. Yeah, and let's see, and that'll be part of the school maybe. As well.
Definitely.
Definitely.
And breathing and
Yeah.
ice bathing.
Oh man, breathing, ice bathing, all of it, just all of it. Just getting back to the land and awakening the forces within ourselves that enable us to do what nature intended, and that is thrive.
Thrive.
Nature intended us to be thriving, happy, healthy,
Laughing.
very quick to laugh, very easy to very playful. If you're
Yeah,
not if
playful.
you're not feeling like that, if you're feeling heavy and dense and sort of just jaded with life.
Like to look at you like,
Just jaded with life. Just, okay, more work and all of that. No, that's not, you can do things to make that change.
The Steel Pane Heart, STEELE -PAYNE.
Yeah, that's actually her last name. Steel Pane.
Yeah, Jenny Steel Pane.
I know.
I'm always
cool.
like, what should I name it? Nate's like,
I was like, you already got like an
got,
awesome name for that.
No one has that name.
Right. Lori says, are you looking for land right now? Where? Not actively. That's still a few years away until I can orchestrate that and get the finances or figure out how that's going to happen.
And where?
And where. For a long time, I was thinking it was going to be here because this is where my family is in the Midwest and stuff. And it's a good place. Mm-hmm. It definitely is. But the past year or so, I've been really feeling it's got to be on the West Coast. It's just got to be like more where the redwoods grow because I just love that type of climate. And it's still wild out there. Northern California, Oregon, Washington.
We did love Tennessee, though.
We did love it. Yeah, Tennessee was very nice.
Tennessee is really nice, too. And
yeah, Tennessee was nice, too. I mean, I'm open to many different areas, but if I had to choose, I just love the weather of wherever the redwoods grow is perfect climate for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, Jenny, hope to see your channel. Yes.
Aw, thank you. Thank you.
Okay, let's see here.
Like I said, it's my way of administering, the tools. It unfolds. The cards lay out and they say a certain thing, but it creates a conversation and a dialogue and helps you get outside of your own mind and look at the situation that you're asking a question for. So, yeah, thank you.
SML Studio says, please, how long can the addition of labs reduce the compost production duration? It will dramatically reduce. If you're regularly adding labs, it will dramatically reduce the time by which the compost will take. So, yes, that's very helpful. Exactly when? I don't know. I can't say that because it depends on many factors. The thermal mass, primarily compost depends upon the thermal mass if you're doing hot composting type. So you want it to at least be like a 4x4x4 cube so that then it can generate the right type of temperatures and microbial activity to decompose it fast. Okay. Let's see here. Garth says, how long after allium sprout should I keep them on the heat mat? It's a lovely day in my Northern Ontario greenhouse. Nice. Well, yeah, you can move them out to the greenhouse a little bit if you want to, but obviously move them back in at night unless it's heated and stuff. But yeah, that would work perfectly fine. The heat mat, for quite a while. It depends how, like here, the house is like 55, so the basement definitely is like 50. And so if I had them just there on the unheated, they would grow so painfully slow. And if they're at 75 on the heat mat, they're going to grow 5 times faster than if you just left them in the cool. So we have to be cognizant of that. And let's see. My byline is creating soil with soul.
Yeah.
Nice. Very good. Val says, can the yellow of Parma grow in northern Arizona intermediate era? I don't think so. Yellow of Parma is a full-on long day. I would just go with the Australian brown. You guys, if it's your first time growing onions, you cannot go wrong with the Australian brown because I've still got many of them in the basement. They're nice and strong and rich and flavorful, very pungent. And I've still got plenty of garlic, which I planted about half of the garlic that I harvested last year. She helped me harvest it. So, and then sweet potatoes. I've still got a bunch of sweet potatoes. And I have some sweet potatoes from 2 years ago that are still perfectly solid and good to go.
I left mine in the car.
Yeah, tell them about your sweet potatoes.
Well, I did, I watched the video and I put them in my barrel or my tub and put it in the car, like you said, to cure them out so they get sweeter. But I'm pretty sure it probably got to freezing one night. And so that's no good. So yeah, a lot of them are, about half of them are rotting now. And yeah. I'm trying to eat them, but they're not nice. Right,
because she did exactly what I told her not to, and she let them freeze in the car. And so That is why they are now rotten. Because
I know.
once the sweet potato or the potato, once they freeze, that's it. They're dead.
Yeah. I'm going to be a better student this year.
Yeah.
I promise.
Yeah. Well, and it's really good because we get to come up and devise and implement methods that are for her particular demographic.
Which is like a lot of you, probably.
Right. Probably. Oh, yeah. Way more
Yeah.
of you are like her than like me. For sure.
So you're all amazing. Good job.
Yeah. You did it, everyone.
Good job. We'll get through
Yeah.
this.
Yeah. Yeah, you will. Let's see. Successful garden design. Will you be doing lives, Jenny?
Yes, I will be. Yep.
As in live videos. Yep, she
Yeah.
will be. And she's just getting her
And
system developed.
Yeah, I'm just getting it down. I had some microphone issues and stuff. And I travel a lot, so I'll be in different locations too all the time. But yeah, I'm going to do daily videos all the time.
Yep. She just got back from Sedona. She's really into it.
Supercharge myself.
Yep. Hans says, "What are labs?" Guys, come on.
There's a video.
No, it's the foundation. No, it's okay. That's not a silly question. It's lactic acid bacteria serum. And we make it with the milk and the rice wash water. And it's pretty much a general tonic for anything that ails the plant. Labs is a problem fixer. So if you have mildew or molds or something in your growing medium, like on your inside house plants, then you can add labs. And it also helps to break down the nutrients in the soil and make them more plant available. Okay. Rachel says, "Great, I'll watch if the time zones work." Maybe you should do them at 12 noon because that seems to work for a lot of people.
Yeah.
So let's see. Can you plant garlic in the spring? Yes, you can plant garlic in the spring. The thing is that it typically will not be as big as the fall garlic. And it may run the risk of not splitting into cloves. So you have to, if you want it to grow properly and you plant it in the spring, you have to take it, bust apart the cloves, and I've made videos about this, but take it, bust apart the cloves, and then put them in a bag and put them in the freezer or the refrigerator. The refrigerator, it'll take about a month. The freezer, it'll take about a week. And then you take them out and you plant them. And that is the vernalization that happens. And so then they're going to grow nice. But you can plant them right now if your ground is workable. If you're like Garth or some of you guys up north and you've got 2 feet of snow on the ground, not so much. But here it is like alarmingly warm.
Yeah.
For being February. February is supposed to be when it's still cold, man.
I had daffodils. Coming a month ago. And they're still sitting there. They don't seem to be damaged. I don't know what's going to happen though. But they're about that high.
Yeah.
Everywhere. I have daffodils everywhere. I'm the flower gardener.
Oh yeah, oh she loves flowers.
I love
yeah.
flowers and bushes that have scents, flowers with scents. My garden is timed to always have a scent happening.
Yeah.
But you can't eat those. That's what he always says.
Right. I said, okay,
You can't
that's
eat
great,
those.
but you can't eat the flowers. So how's that going to keep you alive? She's like, but it's so pretty.
It's so pretty.
Yeah. Well, that's why we compliment.
Yeah.
You know.
I have a garden bed out here.
Oh yeah.
At the house.
Yeah.
The Jen
The Jen
blossoms.
Blossom. Yeah, the Jen Blossom. Ha, you get it? The our legato, $20. Thank you very much, my friend. I appreciate the tip. Man, I hope I don't have to split any of this with you.
Oh yeah, for
guys.
sure.
Yeah. No. She's gonna say, so what is my cut? Yeah.
No. My cut is that I just get to be around in the house and that's
Taking
my
the
cut.
saunas
No,
and-
seriously, that's yeah.
She's too kind.
I
Thank
am
you.
way too good.
Yeah, I know. Let's see. Ms. P, $5. Thank you very much, my friend. Time to learn about solar forcing and how can we adapt. Solar forcing. Okay, you want to explain that a little bit? I'm sure
Yeah.
I've got all kinds of ideas about stuff, but what is solar forcing? Frank says, warm winter provides more food growing opportunities. Yes, kind of. Kind of, though.
But it's Russian roulette, you know?
It's Russian
'Cause-
roulette. Because we'll still get, in Indiana, we're on the line between like the true north and the south. You know, and so we get like sometimes brutal cold, you know, -10 degrees or whatever it is, you know, for a few days at a time. But then it'll become 50 degrees like it is today and sunny, you know. And so as soon as we start trying to grow something, a brutal cold will come and kill everything, you know.
4 o'clocks and moonflowers. Yeah. Yeah. I love
Yeah, if
them
you guys
too.
ever want to talk flowers, she's way more.
Yeah, I love flowers.
Yeah, she's way more in the know. I ask her about flower stuff all the time, because it's all about experience, The soil thaws under the snow. Yes, that's true. Things decompose very well under the snow. And I dug through 2 feet of snow in winter and successfully planted garlic. Okay.
Nice. Good to know.
Good to know. Daphs seem to do okay after coming up early.
Okay, good. That's good because I love my daffodils. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, but it is the 5-minute flower, It comes up and it's like dead in
This is
5
what
minutes.
he always says. It's not true. They last
She's
for a
like,
couple
"Oh, the
of
daffodils
weeks.
are coming up." I'm
Yeah.
like, "Okay, well, don't look away because they're about to be dead."
If we got a good snow, and the snow would insulate it, and then I would feel better. But right now, there's no snow, so if we get a cold snap, that's what I'm worried about. But I do think they will be resilient and still be okay.
Yeah. Taida says, that's Angela Crawford. We need more Jenny. Guys, her channel is the Steel Pane Heart.
Aww.
Yes, very nice.
Thank
She is
you.
not far away from us. I could almost see a summertime visit. She's in Michigan, I
Oh,
think.
good. Yeah, I
So
love Michigan.
Maybe we'll plan something like that out.
Yeah, I love Michigan.
Or maybe you come see this garden and us when it's in
Yeah.
full swing. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, whoops.
Whoops. Not that button.
Okay, the Japanese claims that freezing sweet potato before baking makes them fluffy. Not sure what stage yours froze. Yeah, if you freeze it immediately before baking, yes. But if you freeze it and then try to store it, no, absolutely not. Because it's
Yeah.
dead as soon as
Yeah.
it's... So that is going to be an issue.
By the way, if there's any bakers out there, half a cup of mashed potato in your bread makes the most beautiful bread. I'm just saying. I don't know. Something about that reminded me of that.
Nice. Julian says, lab, is it good for us? Yes, we can take lab. Labs is very good for us. The lab cheese is really good for us because we get the same type of benefits from all of this. All right. But yes, you can drink the labs as well. But also if you're trying to get the lactic acid bacteria into you, one of the best ways is Rejuvelac, which I should make a video on. But yeah, with the sprouted wheatgrass berries, that's a good way, to make the Rejuvelac. But yes, labs can be consumed definitely. You can give a little splash of it to your pets, your livestock, put it in their water. It's good for the digestive tract, all of that stuff. All right. Ooh, yeah. SC says the peppery taste of nasturtiums. What? What?
You and the nasturtiums.
What?
That's the only thing he wants to grow is nasturtiums everywhere.
Yeah. I went a little overboard on nasturtiums,
And they were like, ugh.
and they were just, because I was putting them everywhere,
Yeah.
trying. It was when I first moved back from California and stuff. And so they were not loving life here.
They did well this year, a few of them.
Yeah, the past couple years they did real
Yeah.
well. Yeah, got nice and big, but yeah. Busy Girl says, I'm going to plant garlic. I thought it was too late. Happy to hear they will still grow. Yes, they will still definitely grow. Guys, definitely still plant garlic, okay? So the garlic will just sit in the ground until the time is right, and then it will sprout. And then it will grow, and pretty much mid-July at the latest is when you will be harvesting the garlic because it will die back naturally on its own. And then you'll dry it and you'll store it. And then you can plant a run of bush green beans in that same soil. Get the whole run of bush green beans, and that you can can the bush green beans and all of that. I recommend the dragon tongue beans, snap beans. They're a bushy one. And then after the green beans are done, then you cut the plants down, leaving the roots in the ground, and it'll be right about the time that after a couple of months of letting it sit to then plant the garlic again right into that same bed. So you see what we did? We planted the garlic, harvested it, planted a whole run of fast-growing bush green beans, and that's going to pump the soil full of nutrients, nitrogen, and then we leave the roots of the green beans. And that's going to leave all those rhizobia and all the good stuff. It's going to be in the soil so that after a couple months, Later, we're going to plant the garlic right back into that soil, and it's going to be supercharged, and you get that nice, big, hearty, very flavorful garlic. So let's see here. Nick says, I love nasturtiums. Make a compound butter with nasturtiums, fennel, sprigs, and shallots. So good on fish, especially grilled salmon. That does sound good.
That sounds amazing.
Sounds really good. Let's see. To be more specific about growing more food in warm winter, I use the days harden off my plants and bring them in at night. Okay, yes, definitely. If you're hardening them off outside, definitely, it's nice for them. Let's see, and what else? So are you? So let's see. Any other tips you can give? So to an aspiring gardener, so someone who they're maybe a rookie or first year, second year maybe. What would be some advice based upon your recent experience that you could give to them?
Grow the things that you love that you're actually going to eat. You know, for some reason I saw eggplants. I don't particularly like eggplant. He loves it. And I planted eggplant, and then I'm like, I have them. And I'm like, why did I do that? And I hate wasting things. That's
why she has to get chickens.
Yeah, I'm getting chickens. Yeah.
Speak up a little.
I'm getting chickens.
Yep.
Yeah. So I would say grow the things that you love, that you're gonna love to eat. It's, do that first. Start off small as well, because you don't want to overwhelm yourself. If you start off small, then you get the few things down, and then you add, and then you're really excited the next year to add on to a thing. And right at the moment, we're still in a time when I feel like you can still get the things that you don't grow at a farmer's market. But, we want to be into the future looking to be growing, as much of our own stuff as we can. But, if you're starting off, to not overwhelm yourself and just get the basics down, tomatoes and zucchinis. Zucchinis, grow without thought. And squash, if you like things like that, they grow like crazy, and you can't even eat them fast enough. So any stuff that you love, I say just stick with the stuff you love. I say that in anything. Like, people ask me about designing homes and stuff like that. Just buy the stuff you love. It's the same with vegetables. Just grow the stuff that you love, that you're gonna really enjoy. Like, oh my gosh, the product, and be excited about it. That's what I would say. But for me too, I wanted to store some things as well. That was important, to have those fresh things throughout the winter, for sure.
And so, based upon your experience this past year, what are some things that you're going to change, like in your system? What would you foresee some changes being made? I mean, we haven't even talked about it yet, really. But no. What do you foresee right off the bat?
Well, I want to add some space, but I definitely think we need to put more of the ground cover in the places that we didn't, especially with the potatoes. And it'll be interesting to see what yield we get, and how the difference in the potatoes this year. And
because the ground cover, keep that thought, because the ground cover is going to solve all the issues that we had. The issues were that the manure it settled down, and a lot of the potatoes were exposed.
Yeah.
And the weed seeds grew up. And so it was like you could hardly distinguish between the potato vines and the weeds. They were like 4 feet tall. Huge ryegrasses and stuff that
because I went away on a trip, and then I came back, and it was like
boom,
crazy.
Like that.
Yeah.
And so
I had trouble with onions. I planted onions twice, and I would say that I probably didn't water them.
Well, no, you didn't water nearly good enough, and that's why you didn't water.
Yeah, I didn't water.
So I would say you didn't water them enough
because I wasn't in that mind frame, and then I put them down in. And
but that's another thing that the landscaping fabric is going to solve.
Yeah, I really like radish too, because they grow super fast, and radish are really yummy and lovely.
Okay, let me get to this question real quick. Lori Adams says, thanks. Nate is too busy to see my question. I am going to try to plant them in window boxes. I have good organic garlic from Azure Standard that is sprouting. I'm in Arkansas, Zone 7. What's the question? I saw it. No, there's a lot of
so many,
and it's flying through and stuff.
It just keeps going.
Yeah, which is fine.
Yeah,
which is fine. Just
awesome.
re-ask the question.
Yeah, just
Just totally re-ask the questions. I can't, because it doesn't let me, when I scroll, it wants to jump back to the new one and stuff. So it's like kind of challenging.
So just ask it again.
Yeah. I just made some labs. Do I have to store it in the refrigerator? How long will it last in the refrigerator? And is there a way to make it shelf stable? Okay, it will last good, strong for about a month. Okay, it begins to lose its, put it in the refrigerator, 2 weeks to a month is the optimal time. It can lose its vigorousness after that. So I just say make smaller batches, but make them more often. And you get the cheese. So it's really labs, the living bacterial things are not the ideal things to let set for a long time on the shelf. We don't really want to try and do that. Now you can, in the K&F, you'll see a lot of people will super saturate it with brown sugar. Okay. And that will kind of put the microbes to sleep in theory. And then when you re-dilute it, it will reawaken the microbes. Now I say, okay, that's fine. But in my experience, it's not nearly as vigorous. It's just not. So you can, if you have to, you can add equal amounts of brown sugar to the labs. That's a lot of brown sugar. And stir it up till it dissolves. And that will pretty much put them to sleep. You can keep it shelf stable for a while. That will help it to last longer. But that's what they recommend. My experience is not that it just loses its vigorousness. It doesn't do the same things afterwards. So I would just make more batches, but smaller batches more often. Okay. Let's see here. Onions are heavy feeders. Yes, onions are heavy. Was there an onion question? What does she think of you getting rabbits? I don't know if I've told her that yet.
No.
Yeah. Well, I'm still digesting the idea. I'm not sure if I am. I'm not sure if I can. So I am definitely. I definitely want to meat rabbits. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, meat rabbits.
Oh.
For meat, they raise them real quick. Yeah, I'll tell you all about it after this. Yeah.
Okay.
She's not really into the butchering part.
Well, but I want to be.
But she wants to be. She would be.
Yeah.
Yeah, she would be.
I want to be.
Okay. Do you have a video on starting a new garden on your lawn? Well, I have a number of different videos about that. One of them is the from grass to garden in one day that uses the grow bags and the landscaping fabric. The other one is using the leaves to burn away. You burn the leaves and it burns the grass and everything away, then put more leaves as the mulch. And then also I have a method with the tiller. So I've got about 3 videos that would describe how to do that. Yes. Shalmahad says, what is good fertilizer for onions and garlic? And at what stage should we start fertilizing them? The best fertilizer for onions and garlic is the base fertilizer, the manures and the compost. So what you put down at the time of planting is ideal. So manures and well composted stuff, yes. Also ash. They love ash. So you can sprinkle ash at about 1 liter per square meter. That's 1 quart per square yard for you Americans. Everybody always gets me for the conversion rates, but yes. So you can add the ash at that rate. Also rabbit manures, chicken manures. If you're doing garlic, you can add fresh chicken manure to the garlic bed in the fall. Yes. And it will all help to decompose by then. Now, the liquid fertilizers are going to be the fish fertilizer. They love the fish fertilizer. Onions and garlic love the fish fertilizer, okay? Because onions are actually not, it's not a root. So contrary to popular belief, we don't need to treat it like a root, all right? So the more nitrogen, they love some nitrogen. So any of the JDOM liquid fertilizers, any of the soil management practices from this channel will work. That's the beautiful part of it. We don't dissect it necessarily. We do exactly what nature does, and that is to provide a well-rounded, balanced source of nutrition all season long. And so that's so that the plant can have access to it when it needs it, and that's the most important thing. So we don't have to dump, 50, 10, 10, or 0, 50, 35. All these freakish numbers of fertilizers and stuff. We don't use any of that. There's no need. Nature never does that, and nature never dissects the growth cycle from seedling, okay, and then I'll give it this kind of fertilizer for the growth and the bulbing phase. It's always just balanced all the time, and it does this with microbes. So I have asked twice already, not a very good typer. Let's see. What is the question? I can't. Man, someone repost this guy's question. I got to get this answered. Okay. So someone help me out here. And let's see. Okay. Yeah.
Thunder's question.
Thunder's question. Taida Henna, $5. Oh yeah, she does henna. She does. She's got a Instagram as well.
Oh,
she does
I'm
really
gonna
good
find
henna.
your Instagram. Yeah.
You guys would really probably like each other.
Yeah.
My favorite time of the week was even better this time. Thanks for introducing us to Jenny. I might go. See, I knew this would happen. I might go plant garlic now. I had given up. Oh, absolutely.
Oh, good.
Do not give up. You can plant it now. You can plant it even a couple months from now. It'll be spring garlic. It'll be smaller garlic, but yeah.
We should play some music for them sometime.
Oh, yeah. Boom, ba-dum, boom, boom, ba-dum, boom, boom, ba-dum. Yeah, we'd love to. She's got her hand pan here and stuff. When we play some music, it's pretty nice. Yeah. Let's see. What about goat manure for the garden? Does it have your thumbs up? Absolutely. Goat manure is very beneficial. Yes. And it's a very benign one. A lot more like rabbit manure or deer manure, stuff like that. So yes, you can use it pretty much in the garden, fresh, no problem. Let's see. Okay, on the zucchini, ram pecante, when is the best time to start those seeds and transplant them? Zucchini does not need transplanted. Zucchini is one of them seeds you plant in place, like squash and corn and cucumbers. Those, sometimes cucumbers you start inside, but definitely zucchini, they grow so fast and vigorous, and they just don't like to be disturbed. So I guess if you're doing soil blocks, then you can plant one in it, and just after a week or two, because they grow so fast and they'll get out of control so fast. So you just want to, boom, plant that. Thunder is trying to figure out JLF. Okay, what about it? JDOM liquid fertilizer. And that is any of the things that we ferment through the digestion, through the barrels with the leaf mold. That is going to be the good stuff. Okay.
And there's videos.
Yes, and there's videos. James Triplet says, how did you determine 5 times JMS application in the spring? Well, because when I first was introduced to JDOM, I think in 2016, when we started using it out west in Northern California, that was the master himself, Young Sung Chow, said that. So 5 times. And so I've never done anything different, So when the master tells you that that's 5 times is the ideal, I've never had to question it because it just works so good. So you could do more if you wanted. You could do less if you had to. But 5 times, that's what I do, and it just works so good. So it's if you've used these management practices for a number of seasons, you could get away with just 1 or 2 if you wanted. But if you don't have thriving soil food web and stuff, or you've been using chemical fertilizers, or you're in a new place where you don't know what happened to the land, you're going to want at least 5 good applications. Yeah. And it's best to make it in a big barrel so that you can add it straight to stuff. So let's see. Do we got a few more questions for Jenny? Let's see. Yeah. I'm confused about the preseason microbial. Val says, I'm confused about the preseason microbial solution. Did you say we could put it on full strength on seedling plantings? No. The JDOM, if there's a living root in the ground, never more than 20 times dilution. This is very important because of the salt and also the power of the microbes. But so yes, you don't add it when there's anything. I'm trying to think of how to say it. You don't add it when I never talk this much, do I? I mean, I never. I'm just sitting here talking. So it's like it's a workout for me.
We meditate.
Yeah, we spend a lot of time in silence.
Sit a lot of silence.
But yeah, you don't need to do that. Put it onto any of your seedlings. But if there's no seeds, no living roots in the ground, you can add it straight. Yes. Okay. Zach with the C says, I can't find anywhere in the JDOM book where Chow stipulates using undiluted JMS. How much do you have to brew at a time to get even coverage? I can't tell you the exact page, but I absolutely guarantee you that it's in there. So because I just know for sure that that's part of the program. You can believe that. So how do you get it to brew? How much do you have to brew? Well, it depends. You know, you can use, if you have the ability to do a 55-gallon drum, then you can add it straight to all of your beds or however much. Or you can dilute it 1-to-1 or even 1-to-5. Really, pure is ideal. It's not an exact science. You know, we're working with microbes. And so even if you diluted it 1-to-10 and applied it really thoroughly, as if you apply it at the same rate that you would for watering your plants midsummer, about that same rate. And that's going to help with the microbes. So don't get too hung up on the exact sciences and the exact dilution rates and stuff. It's not like that. It's not like when we use chemical fertilizers where we have to be exact on. So, and yes, Rhonda, yes, we use the JMS throughout the growing season. But 5 times before planting is the pure. After a living root in the ground, at least 20 times dilution. Okay. So, okay, let's see. The Dog Show, $5. Thank you very much, my friend. Really appreciate your channel. Would I be able to over ferment my homemade kefir and use the whey to make Jadam? With kefir is a whole different set of bacteria. So many people ask me that about the labs because it seems to be the same, but it's not. It's a whole different set of bacterias. Now, it's still going to be beneficial for the compost pile or for the soil. Yes, give it to the soil. You can use it in a similar way to the labs, but it's not going to have the same effect. So add the kefir stuff mostly to the compost pile. Okay. Atmosphere says, "You're a funny guy, Nate. Entertaining as much as informative. Wouldn't have thought you would be this funny from when I started watching your videos." Thank you.
Yeah. I think his neighbors were scared of him at first until I came around, and then they thought, "Oh well, she's here."
Oh, so he must be.
He's really sweet and funny.
Yeah, it's just a look. It's just I kind of look a little bit.
He looks very intimidating.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, we actually we laugh a lot. Man,
that's
and
primarily our
it's
thing.
primarily what we do. We just laugh at all of it.
Ridiculous.
You know?
Life is ridiculous. So you better be able to laugh at it.
Oh, absolutely.
You'll live better.
Yep. And also my neighbors see us, you know, they're out there. It's like 15 degrees Fahrenheit and they're out there in scarves and big parkas and hoodies. And we're getting out of the ice bath. Ice is falling off of us in the tub and everything, dripping wet, and it's just my beard freezes immediately.
Invigorating.
And I was like, you know, and they're just like looking at me like, oh my god, you know. So it's pretty funny. Okay, so here we go. Thunder says, here's the question. I know how to make JLF, but the concern is it always ends up with the SCOBY film on top eventually. Yes, that is absolutely normal. Nothing to worry about. If you guys make the JLF as the video states, then it does not matter what happens inside. You're going to see all kinds of gnarly stuff. White, pink, molds, soldier fly larvae, all kinds of stuff. It's all good. Nothing you need to worry about. She likes to drink it like a tea.
Yeah.
No, just kidding. Yeah. Oh, if I told her, I was like, Jenny, this is really good for this.
This would be really good for you. I was like, okay.
She would. But I would never betray that trust by doing that. Okay.
He's trying to get me to, never mind.
And
I'm not going to bring it up.
Oh, the raw beef liver? The raw beef liver? Yeah. She's not down. She's not jazzed about eating the raw beef liver.
I'm like, man,
you got to. So, okay, Thunder, I hope that answers the question because SCOBY film, nothing that happens inside that JLF barrel is of any concern. It literally cannot go bad. So all kinds of bizarre stuff is going to be seen. The smell and all that stuff. Just keep it in a cupboard with a tight-fitting lid so that nothing is evaporating or getting in. Well, it doesn't even matter if things get in, but just, you don't want that smell. You don't want that smell. Yeah. Let's see. And, okay, Thunder. Got it. Okay, good. Laughter. Okay, so that Rhonda says, okay, thank you so much for your wisdom. I would also love to hear the two of you having a jam session. Man, I know. We need to figure out what platform to do that on. Yeah, man, we just, right before we started this, was grooving, man.
Yeah, it was
just
so
boom, 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 boom. And she's playing the hand pan and stuff, and it's cool. Yeah, I'm playing the djembe.
Yeah, we were like, man, we could have recorded that.
Oh, we should have recorded that. Man, that would have been good. We could put it on YouTube, you know. So, okay, guys. So let's see here. We're getting somewhat close to the end, I think. Oh, we're actually way longer than I typically do, but it's just been good.
Yeah.
Our Legato, I still love you both. I love Nate to begin with. I love you both more together. Oh, thank you, Our Legato. Thank you. Chris Black, my fermented pickles have a white yeast-like film on top of the pickles. How to avoid this?
Too.
You don't avoid it. It's not a problem. I know it seems like it does, but it is yeast. It's just a yeast bloom. So long as you made the solution right, the lactic acid bacteria is going to keep it pure. It's okay. And that white yeast film is not harmful. That happens a lot of times in ferments like that. My pickles do it all the time. No problem.
Man, that's what happened to my pickles too. When I tried to ferment the pickle, I didn't grow the right cucumbers.
Yeah. So tell us about your pickle.
Yeah, they were mushy. One variety was right, and I can't remember what, because we did my garden really quickly. We just kind of threw a lot of extra stuff of his in, and so I didn't know exactly what pickles I grew. So I tried to pickle some, and I tried to ferment some, and they were mushy. That was really disappointing, man. I did a big giant container. I was like,
yeah, she had all kinds of
so
spices
beautiful.
in there.
Yeah, I was like, oh man.
She was putting pictures of them and stuff.
Yeah.
And then just.
Yeah. I drank the juice. I figured that would have been good for me, but yeah.
Yeah, it's very specific, and you don't want to use. So the Chicago pickling cucumber, she was using like slicers, like Market More.
Yeah.
Okay. So that.
And he had said that. I knew that it was gonna.
She don't listen. She don't listen.
I was just like, I'll just try it.
It's like, well, that's what he says.
Well,
but
I wondered if the
true.
fermenting would be different than the pickling, and it wasn't.
Right. Yeah, it's not typically, but you got to add the bay leaf and stuff like that.
I did that, but that didn't matter if you got the wrong pickles.
Right. It doesn't matter if you get the wrong pickles.
You can also add oak leaves. It's the tannins,
yeah,
right?
Yeah. That's why I add the bay leaves for.
Yeah.
So look at all this love.
Aww.
Pam says, thanks for your time, Nate and Jenny. This was so fun. Music. Thank both of you for this lovely chat. Thanks, Nate. You're the man. Oh, thank you. Don't tell her that.
He's an amazing human being, like truly. So I appreciate that finally, that he's able to give this information, because he's an amazing human being.
She is always the number one fan.
I am always
the number one fan, no doubt, from the beginning.
Yep. I was number one subscriber on everything.
Yeah, before any of it. Let's see. Nate, you mentioned dogs the other day. What kind of dogs are you getting? When I get the land, possibly the Belgian Malinois. But that would be really, really probably my favorite type for that. But I don't. We'll have to see. If I have the time to dedicate to that, which I think I would, of course. But if not, just the regular, just a German Shepherd. A couple of them.
As long as they don't go after the chickens.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No.
I'm gonna cuddle the chickens.
Yeah. See.
She
wants to cuddle the chickens. She wants to give them names and stuff.
I am.
I'm like, yeah.
100%.
Yeah, well, okay. The first time that you have to eat Charlie or you have to eat Larry, it's going to be a little, okay.
Yeah.
You don't name your food, but yeah.
Maybe you should.
Yeah. Oh, well, see. Okay. Thank you so much, Nate and Jenny, for sharing your experience. Absolutely, guys. It's been very fun. Yes. Mm-hmm. Let's see. Flowers for everyone. My problem on making JLF is finding a barrel with a replaceable lid. Can I use a piece of wood and a heavy brick? You can, yes, but you really don't want it to evaporate, because the smell is the ammonia and stuff leaving the brew. So you really don't want it to get out of the cracks. So if you can put plastic or some kind of foam, and then if you put a piece of foam that would create a tight fitting, yeah, mm-hmm. And then put the board on top, then the brick on top, that would work. Yeah. That's what my dog is. She's wonderful. What kind? The Belgian or the German Shepherd? Both the breeds. Got a lurcher, a cross between a collie and a whippet. Whoa. Yeah, the whippets, man. I knew a person that bred and raced the whippets. Lightning fast dogs. Real small, fast, wiry kind of dogs.
Let's get some sled dogs.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, we're going to get sled dogs.
Sled dogs.
Yeah, that's what we'll do.
Or I'll just pull you behind.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be right. Kate says, I have 40 chickens. They all have names. Oh, why did you have to tell her that?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Well, so I guess that they can have names. I stand corrected.
Can't
Whatever.
stop
Yeah.
that from happening.
Right. Marcia says, thank you both. Thank you both. My first time to Alive. First time to Alive. Great. You caught one of the best ones.
Aww.
Definitely. So yeah, I don't want it to end, but we're going to have to come to an end at some point. So thanks y'all. Great stuff.
Gotta
Wonderful
eat
day.
some
Yeah,
now.
really. And
We
my
gotta-
voice is already like, my voice is already
I
hoarse.
better put some
and
water
stuff.
on. We
Yeah.
need some tea.
Let's see.
Tea
Going to
time.
start again for eating. Chickens are pretty much. Okay, so if anyone has any burning questions, you got to ask them real quick. Those are those that shall not be named and those that shall not. She's a Belgian Shepherd mix. Got her.
She meant the chickens.
Oh yeah, okay. She's a Belgian Shepherd mix. Got her when I was living in Spain as a rescue. Wow, nice. That's a great combination right there. Rhonda says, okay, I think I can work with that. Clifford says, my 15-year-old Shepherd Lab mix is the best pooch I've ever had.
Aww.
15 years. Nice. That's a good lifespan for that dog. Yes, future chickens shall not be named.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Gonna
See?
eat them.
There we go. She says,
Listen,
no, trust
I'm
me.
just gonna have to toughen up.
Busy Girl says, no, trust me. You don't want sled dogs. Yeah.
I
No,
know.
I'm not here.
No,
She says all kinds of outlandish things like that.
I just
So.
put it out there.
Link, what's up, my man? Good to see you here. Our Anatolian Shepherd is growing up to be a great dog. I'm not aware of what kind of dog that is, but I'll have to look it up.
Yeah.
Send me a picture. My chicken is Scottish. I named her McNugget. That is the only name that the chicken needs. Scottish chickens.
Terrible.
Yeah, she's Scottish. We call her McNugget.
McNugget.
That I could work with. Nick Jones, £5 sterling.
Wow.
Thank you very much, my friend. What's that convert to, like $75?
I don't even know anymore.
Yeah, anymore I don't know. But when I was traveling, it was always like, God. They're like, oh yeah, it's $3 or $4 quid. I'm like, yeah, that's like $20
Yeah.
now.
I lived in London for a year, many years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Many moons ago.
many moons ago, and the exchange rate was really good.
Was it? For dollar
for,
to...
for
Oh, the other way.
The other way. Yeah.
Yeah, the other way. Rhonda says, I have a dog I am fostering right now. The vet thinks she is black mouth cur. She is very sweet, gets along with my 3 other adopted dogs and my cat.
Oh, good
very
job.
nice. That sounds like a lovely time. 2 people, double the time. Yeah. Okay, that's what I was going to say. Laying chickens. Lori
Yeah.
says laying chickens have names, not the
Yeah.
meat birds.
Yeah, I'm not
Right.
gonna have meat birds.
Yeah.
I've heard tell of meat birds that are just like they fall over from the way they've been bred.
Mm.
So I don't know. Meat chickens kind of freak me out. I don't know enough about them yet, but
Yeah, you will once we start doing it.
yeah,
No problem.
but yeah.
So, okay, what parting advice would you give to the people for their upcoming gardening season based upon your last?
Watch him. Just take notes.
That's good
Yeah.
advice.
Yeah, but also it's just what a great community that has been built on here of
is,
all
man.
of
You
you
guys.
guys supporting each other and like just it really energizes him too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just tremendous because we've got to be growing food.
Yeah.
We've got to, and it's just so lovely when you sit down for a meal that you've grown and you know where it came from and you know how much life it gives you. It's just a totally different thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, beautiful life.
Yep. Okay, my friends. Well, this is pretty much it. So look forward to the next special guest episode. We'll see how much we can drag her in here.
We'll see.
For you guys. So hit the like button, yes, please. And share any of the videos and stuff. We want to really try and let the channel grow this spring. Definitely. So we got more reach.
Grow in the spring.
Yes. It has to blossom in the spring.
Blossom in the
Yes.
spring.
Because we want more people to know this knowledge. We also want it so that we've got more knowledge base to draw from.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. When when we asked things like about the moles and about the ants and all of that stuff, I only learned these things from you guys. I got like 12 answers about the gum, and then also about the borax, you know. So all of that kind of stuff, that's just a small example of the more people involved in the community, the more knowledge base we have to draw from. And that's what it's all about. We don't need just to Google it and then, because that's just regurgitating more info. But I like from you guys firsthand experience. That's what I try and give on the channel, because that's what I value the greatest is the firsthand experience. Yeah. So, okay, guys. Thank you very much, my friends.
Yeah.
We'll see you next time.